and welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. Now that is how you start a week. Let's take a look at everything that I just picked up in the charity shop. So all of these games cost me just £1 each. It's one of my local charity shops. You never know how much they're going to charge you. Depends who's working, but on this day they were just £1 each. Now you've probably seen on the footage, the lady came out from the back. But to be honest, there really wasn't much in that pile. The best game, the game with the real value here, was just sat on top of all the games. If you were to go in the game section, that is the one game you would see. It was just clearly on display, but we'll get to that in a moment. The first one that I picked up was Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. This isn't a game that I've got much experience with, don't know much about it. From the back, it looks like some sort of fantasy action RPG, I would guess. But the reason I picked this one up is because I don't already own it. It's not a particularly valuable game. It's just £2 at CX, 80p trading. But like I say, this one will be getting added to the collection. And then we get to the ones that I'll probably be trading in. So we've got Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. This is one of them games that seems to go up and down in terms of its value. CX are currently charging £5 for this, giving £3 trade credit. So yeah, well worth picking that one up. And then a game which I hear so many good things about. Every time I mention this, people tell me how good a game this is. And this has spiked like a lot of 360 games have in recent times. CX actually charging £12 for this, or give you £8 trading. I don't own it on the 360, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my collection, but I do own it on the PS3, and that's similar really. The PS3 sells for £10, £6 trading, so I'll probably trade in the PS3 version and add that to the collection. And then the highlight, this was the one that was just sat atop of the games. It wasn't even like that, it was sat like that. And I thought, hello, surely there's no disc in it. So I don't know how long it had been sat there. I don't know if I got lucky. Maybe I was unlucky. Maybe there was others that had already gone. But who knows, right? You have to count your blessings that you do get. Yeah, Dark Souls 3. Really happy to find this one. This still has good value. CX are charging £18 for this on the Xbox One. £12 trading credit. So yeah, fantastic start to the week. For what was just £4 spent, this would cost you £37 to buy at CEX. Equally, it'll return a £23.80 voucher. Now, I'm currently in the market for vouchers because there's some big additions that I want from CEX. So yeah, this is definitely going to help that with those that I will be trading in. So right now, I need to get myself sorted out. There's a few jobs I need to do, including putting all the Switch games away, and they're still out from the Wednesday video. If you haven't seen that, check it out, including these ones that I dropped all over the floor. So we're going to sort that out, and then I'm going to take a look at some very nice packages that I've had arrive over the last few days. Right, okay, so tidying up the Switch games took a little bit longer than expected. I mean, that's what happens when you put things in alphabetical order. But yeah, that's done. That area's looking great. That sea of red, love that. We did all that on last week's vlog. So, moving forwards, we've got some fantastic additions here. Some really nice pieces. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? This first one came courtesy of my friend Liquid Toon. Now, if that name rings a bell, Liquid Toon is the fine young gentleman that sent across his video game room tour as part of a new series that we started last week. We're looking at Ghetto gang members' rooms, a fantastic room, and there will of course be another room just as good that I'm going to be showing on this week's vlog. We'll get to that. But what he has sent across to me is, well, we'll get to the note first. You can see roughly what they are, right? And then he's put here, always use protection. He's kept the notes short and sweet, I like that. So these are protective cases, but designed specifically for cardboard PS2 games. So I had one the other week sent to me by another friend of mine for Ultimate Spider-Man, but I really wanted one for the 50-cent bulletproof sleeve cover variant that I have, and there's a few others I'd like to protect as well, so I'll be able to do so now with those. So once again, massive shout out to Liquid Toon for that. And now, let's get into some games, shall we? So this first one is, yes, okay, so this was an eBay purchase. It's been a few weeks actually since I bought one of these for the collection, and this is The Evil Within But as you can see, this is the PlayStation Hits version. One of the harder ones to get, which is why I took to eBay. But the benefits of that is that it's come with this nice sealed copy. Yeah, a game that again comes quite highly regarded. A couple of people have told me to jump onto this one. I've never played it myself, but very happy to add this. I think we're like a handful away now from the PlayStation Hits collection. We're only like 4 or 5 away, I think, from having the full set. We'll do a recount at some point and then I'll fully focus on this. I have been more so focused on the PS3 Essentials, which we'll get to shortly. But as soon as that's done, touch wood, hopefully one day that will be done. Well then put all my attention into The Evil Within. But until then, I'm just sort of picking these up as and when I come across them online. So yeah, happy enough with that addition. Right, and so I think before we get into the nice bit of retro we've got here, we'll jump into this. So this has come all the way from New Zealand, and this is one of the last 2, I believe. Yeah, yeah. The penultimate PS3 Essential. Wow. The journey's almost at an end. What a journey it's been. I can't wait to sort of complete it and make a video about it, if that day ever comes, because it's been such a journey, right? So many ups and downs on this mission to collect the PS3 Essentials. By far the hardest full set I've ever had to accomplish. But I'll get more into that if I ever complete it and I make a full video on it. But yeah, this has come all the way from New Zealand. Shout out to Nathan, viewer of the channel, hooked me up. And this was something that he was able to get over there, which I'd obviously really struggled to get here. So, seems like there's a couple of bits in here, so let's get into it, shall we? And you know what, before I get into it, I just want to say it isn't lost on me on how fortunate I am to have people watching the channel all around the world, literally the other side of the world. It could not be further away, right, than New Zealand. So yeah, it's just very humbling, it really is, and it's much appreciated. Alas, a note. Oh, printed as well, like that. Hi Callum, I have a note. I'm typing this out since my handwriting is absolutely awful and you don't need to be subjected to that. Mate, what I try and tell myself is that the worse the handwriting, the higher the IQ. That's how I've always made myself feel better about my terrible handwriting. Hopefully this package brings you one step closer to completing the PS3 Essentials collection. Thanks so much for all the content that you provide. You help me get through Mondays at work. Yeah, mate, I appreciate that. While I watch your Sunday vlogs. Cheers and keep it retro. Nathan, you absolute legend. So not only have we got a game in here, oh yes, oh! Guys, I didn't know there was a milk chocolate bar, a mint chocolate bar that existed that I wasn't yet aware of. Cadbury Dairy Milk Bubbly Mint? What on earth? This must be a New Zealand exclusive, right? I've gone from exclusive video games to exclusive mint chocolate. So this is like the Cadbury equivalent of an era. That will be getting taste tested later on. What a legend. And here we have the main event itself. So I think, actually, you know what? I'm lying. This isn't the penultimate one. The penultimate one's on the way. So with the addition of this to the shelves, there's still 2 more, but one's on the way. We'll get to it in a minute. But that is Vanquish. There's a copy of this on eBay. I mean, it's sealed, but nonetheless. For like £400 or something ridiculous. So many people have sent me the link. I would rather never finish the set, right? But yeah, massive shout out to Nathan for sending me this copy of Vanquish. Yeah, it goes without saying. Very, very difficult one to find. I don't know anybody that's got this. And that takes me one step closer. So there is another one on the way. That's done and accounted for, paid for. When that's here, we'll discuss that. But that, guys, it still just leaves me with FIFA 17. I've been talking to a couple of different people in South Africa because we think that maybe that was the only territory it was released in. There's a couple of warmish leads that have gone a bit cold, so I'm still not really any closer to FIFA 17. So this is my plea. If anybody's watching in South Africa or anywhere else that knows of a FIFA 17 in PS3 Essentials format, please let me know. But yeah, massive shout out once again to Nathan for that, man. You absolute legend. And this, yeah, man, looking forward to that. Right, okay, that takes me to a nice bit of retro. This was a vintage purchase. I don't make many vintage purchases, but kind of felt like I was missing out because the guys on the Ghetto gang post so many links to things on Vinted and they're always showing off the fantastic bargains that they've had. I thought, right, okay. And someone posted this guy that I'm assuming it's a guy. Somebody posted this this individual that had listed a load of Super Nintendo games. And there was one that I needed and it was a really good price, like comparative. And this is one that you might have seen in my vlogs before because it's been in my local crack converters. So I often show it. But it was like £45, which is pretty much bang on the money, but it's battered and I just didn't want to have to pay it. This cost me £23 posted, and that is Pinball Fantasies. So this is a 1992 Digital Illusions developed pinball game, as you might expect. This is the sequel to Pinball Dreams, which it always makes me laugh, right? Dreams, fantasies, they sound like Channel 5 late at night movies. You know the one I'm talking about, fellas, back in the day, right? Channel 5 after 9 PM. But yeah, Pinball Fantasies. This game is very highly regarded. I think it was predominantly a PC game. It got a release on a lot of different platforms, Amiga and other things, but I think this was big in the PC world. One of the reviews actually marked this as being one of the greatest games of all time back in 1992. I'm not sure it's quite held up to that. But I think there's like 4 different themed tables and things on here. But apparently, yeah, a really good game. I've said before, I'm not the biggest pinball fan. It's not really my thing. I don't really get it in real life. So, yeah, I'd probably rather play a computerized version of one where I can just sit down and play it in my own room. I'm still yet to play the Williams collection that I've got on the 360. That game has just skyrocketed in price recently. But yeah, I will give them a go at some point. But yeah, another one for the collection. And another nice red box, right? We're all about them red spines here at the Retro Ghetto. So delighted with that. And I mean, it's been a great start to this vlog and to the week, right? We had the charity shop finds, some amazing bits and bobs to my collection. And hopefully that's just the beginning because I'm going to do something I haven't done for quite a while. I'm going to get up super early in the morning. I'm going to go down to a local car boot. I'm going to drag Ghetto Junior with me. He's off school, so he can be my cameraman. We're going to go out, go to the car boot, and then, of course, from there, we're going to go out and hunt some various other places. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, this run of good fortune continues. I'll check you guys in a bit. Ghetto. Look at this, look, the first stall. And we've got a viewer. You're a viewer?
Oh, mate. Hardcore viewer.
Yeah, appreciate that, mate. And you got the games for me? Oh, look at this. We've looked at. First stall we've come to. We're getting Retro Get a discount.
Mate, anything there you want, they're free.
No.
I love the channel, mate.
No, but
I'll try everything's our price then.
What a man. Right, let's have a look. Right, well, good morning. As you've seen, we've already seen 2 stores on the first little row that I've got games. One of the chaps did say though that he'd sold PlayStation stuff already, so a little bit disconcerting that even though I'm here at what, 6:30, someone's already beat me to it. But that's car boot life, right? There's always someone that gets there before you. But as you can see, even though we've had a heat wave, the weather's going to change very soon. So we're going to do a quick lap, see what we can find. And then we're going to regroup. Got Mini Ghetto with me, or Ghetto Junior should I say. And yeah, we're going to be out all day hunting, so hopefully we can start the day off right. Let's go. Well, in typical car boot fashion, like I say, we've had like a week heat wave here in the UK, and then in the morning you come to a car boot, it's absolutely hammering it down. As a result, there's not too many stores here. The stores are here recovering all their goods. Yeah, this is why I don't regularly car boot, right? Because yeah, more often than not, it's a disappointment. But it's one of them, innit? Just every now and again, you'll have that fantastic find that'll just keep you going back. And that's what car boot's all about, right? You have to have these days in order to really appreciate the good ones, I guess. But yeah, we're going to sit in the car for a bit because there's not really much we can do now. There's no shops open. We got here super early. We'll hang about for a bit, see if the rain calms down. Little man's busy with his Switch anyway. What are you playing, mate?
Mario, and I've already defeated 2 Bowsers, so I'm on the 3rd level.
Nice. Mario 3D World he's playing. So, yeah, we'll hang about for a bit, see if the weather calms down. We'll do another quick lap, maybe. From here, I've told little man we're going to go to McDonald's, we're going to regroup, and then we're going to think of a plan for today's game hunt. Okay, so me and little man have now stopped off at McDonald's. As you saw, we did a second lap of the booty. There was some decent stuff. That stall that you saw, the guy that had the 360 games, he knew what he was doing. He had everything listed at like CX prices or there or thereabouts. I was tempted by that Pac-Man board game, but slippery slope. I don't need to start collecting board games. I ain't got the space for it, so, you know, I left that behind for somebody else. Shout out to Wayne, a viewer of the channel that we saw when we first walked in, who gave little man some sweets. And he told me to take a game, and I picked up this one. This one looked interesting. Alien vs Predator Extinction on the PlayStation 2. So if you're watching, Wayne, massive shout out to you. Much appreciated, my friend. And that was the only thing I picked up. Little man got mini figures and sweets and all that other good stuff. So yeah, we're going to have a McDonald's breakfast. Then we're going to fly to Kirkby Sales and Exchange. It just seems like the natural route when you go to this car boot. From there, we usually do Sutton CX, but I don't know. We might go a little bit further afield today. We might go to... yeah, somewhere from there, but we'll see how the day goes. But yeah, we're going to eat, and then we're going to get to Kirkby Sales and Exchange. Right, okay, so as always at this point, goes without saying, right, amazing finds at Kirkby Sales and Exchange. I ended up with a very rare and expensive Mega Drive game that I genuinely didn't think I'd ever own. So obviously we'll get into all the video game pickups when we get back to the 3.0. Also called in at a local charity shop and had a really nice find, DVD. This was just 50 pence, Spirited Away. Obviously with the kids being off school, you know, anything which passes time and keeps the kids happy. So yeah, I'm going to introduce RG Jr. to the fantastic world of Studio Ghibli. This is one of the few animes that I've actually seen, watched through, enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll watch that together as a family. So yeah, can't go wrong for 50 pence. RG Jr. has done all right as well, haven't you, mate? So they've got these blind bags in the local B&M, these minifigure ones. Now we actually already looked out because when he bought one of these, when they first came out, he got the figure everyone wanted. So this is the highly sought after one because it goes with the sort of castle set, like the castle set that I've got. If you watch the vlogs, you'll know that's been passed on to him. And the other one he wanted was this one. So he likes like building armies like myself. And this one here were like Red Sonja vibes. So I found this thing on my phone, which means you can scan them. So when you go in a shop, you can just scan the barcode. Because you used to be able to feel them, but now they're in cardboard as opposed to bags. So you can scan the cardboard. But as soon as I picked it up, someone had already been through them all at B&M and opened it. And genuinely, the first one we got to, it was already opened, and it was this one. So yeah, it was fate. First one we picked up was the one he wanted. Like I say, man, cool figure, real Red Sonja vibes. Awesome sword. You know more there, mate? Yeah, happy?
Yeah.
Good lad. He also found his Pikachu in Kirkby Sales and Exchange, so he got himself a bag of Haribos. There it is. So yeah, everything's going well. Cannot complain. Absolutely delighted with this Mega Drive find, plus some other stuff that we've got. So yeah, we're going to fly to CEX now, and yeah, let's keep it rolling. Okay, so job done in terms of trading in the games that we found at the charity shop at the beginning of this episode, but there was nothing in the CX I wanted to pick up. I think we're going to go a little bit further out. We're going to venture to the next CX. I think that's Mansfield, somewhere that we've rarely been and hunted. So yeah, the day's still young. Let's go to the next place. Okay, so we made it to sunny Mansfield. The weather's changed. Like I say, not somewhere I've ever really hunted before, so I don't know much about it. We're going to find the CEX and take it from there. I'm parked somewhat dubiously, I think, on the edge of the town centre. So we're going to try and not be too long. Well, yeah, let's see what we can find. Well, there's a lot of retro. Might have been worth the trip. Okay, so the sun is beginning to set on what has been a fantastic day, a very long day, but a great day. We did loads more stuff. Me and little man really took advantage of having a bit of a Father Sunday. A lot of stuff that wasn't on camera. Parks, Smith's Toys, went to an outlet village, basically anywhere and everywhere where he gets to spend all of his and all of my money. But yeah, like I say, a great day. But what I'm going to do now is show you guys the pickups that you haven't already seen from today's hunt. Now we're going to start with the final CEX of the day. So the final CEX of the day was Mansfield. Like I say, an area that I'd never really hunted before. Did I need to go away to Mansfield to pick up this game? Absolutely not. But it's one of them, you know, it's like when you're game hunting, you think, well, it's only 15 minutes. It's only 15 minutes. And before you know it, you're an hour and a half away from your house. But this is a game that's intrigued me for quite some time. And that is World War Z. This is one of them that I've just been wanting to pick up ever since launch, really. Like I say, it's always intrigued me. But I've just been waiting for it to be cheap. And I saw it today for £6 and I thought, yeah, now's the time. That's kind of the price where I wanted to be at. So this is a 2019 third-person shooter developed by Saber Interactive. It's loosely based on the 2006 novel and the subsequent 2013 movie adaptation. I actually quite enjoyed the movie. I liked the spin that they did with those zombies, like how they were a lot faster than the sort of like, you know, stereotypical zombies that you get in these kind of movies. So the game sees 4 survivors of a zombie apocalypse across some of the world's biggest cities. And it can actually support up to 1,000 enemies on the screen simultaneously. It's one of them games that I think got mixed reception. I think it was praised for its graphics and its shooting mechanics, but there's no real dialogue, there's no story here. But to be honest, I don't care. I don't buy this game for its story. I just want to blast some zombies. I've really had the itch again recently to play Days Gone again. I love Days Gone. Let's not even get into the sequel, right? It doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. And yeah, I feel like maybe just blasting a load of zombies would scratch the itch for me before I've got time to replay Days Gone yet again. So let me know if you've ever played World War Z. I did check online before I bought it because I think it was primarily like an online or cooperative shooter, like a team style shooter, but you can play it single player. I don't know if that's going to have a huge negative impact upon my experience, but like I say, I just want to blast some zombies. So let me know if you've ever played it or whether you would recommend it. And that was like my only CEX pickups of the day. The other CX that we visited was just to trade stuff in, so that's vouchers which we'll be using for things that you guys will see in the future. So that now takes me to the pickups from Kirkby Sales and Exchange. It seems like at the minute going to Kirkby like at least once a month, and I make no apologies for that because every time I go, there's always new stuff. I always come away with something amazing. Feels like I always come away with a heavy hitter, and today's no exception. We've got a heavy hitter in here, but we'll get to that shortly. But the first thing that I picked up was Crash Bash. So this is a party game released in the year 2000. It's the 5th entry in the Crash Bandicoot series, and basically you can choose from 8 playable characters, and there's 28 mini games here within 3 different modes of gameplay. You got adventure, battle, or tournament. This is the first non-Naughty Dog developed Crash Bandicoot game, and it's not one I ever played. It's not one I had growing up. But this is a game that a couple of people have now mentioned to me in the comment section over my videos, saying, you know, you should try a Crash Bash. And with me having the others, well, I say the others, I've got Crash 1, 2 and 3. I did say this was the 5th installment. I think there's just Crash Team Racing on the PS1 that I don't have. I associate Crash Team Racing with being like a later release on other systems for some reason. Another one that escaped me as a child, right? So I'll probably have to pick up Crash Team Racing now just so I can have all the PS1 Crash Bandicoot games. But yeah, this was £13 at Kirkby Sales and Exchange. I'll talk about the price in a bit more later, but we did a bundle, so it wouldn't have even cost me that much. And this is a £20 game at CEX, so yeah, I think that was a decent pickup. And listen, you guys know where I'm at with PS1, right? I'm really happy to be adding PlayStation 1 games. Speaking of my collecting focuses, that takes us to Nintendo Switch. And this is a game I actually saw in a CEX a couple of weeks back. It's one of the ones that I highlighted a bit of gameplay of as I was in CEX, and I've been intrigued by it ever since, and that is super rare release, last day of June. A bit of glare. This is a 2017 action-adventure puzzle game done in a third-person perspective. It then got a release on the Nintendo Switch in 2018. Initially, you take control of Carl, who will take June out on a date. I don't even want to go too much into the story because whilst I was researching for this and looking at footage and stuff, I probably saw a little bit more of the story than I wanted to. This is one of them games that's very clearly a story-driven, very emotional game, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys, and I don't want to spoil it for myself, to be honest. So I'm not going to say too much about the game. Just know that I think it's probably one of them ones that's going to tug on your heartstrings. But it looks like a very unique game. And I got this for, I think it was just £25. Again, bundled, so it would have ended up costing me less than that. This is all completely sealed. I don't like these big, super rare things they put on it. I think it's to house like the stickers and stuff in the back. But it has also got just your standard seal underneath. So I'll be taking this packaging off, and I'll just keep it as a standard seal until I decide to play it. But yeah, another one that I'd like you guys to let me know in the comments if you've played, because it seems like a very unique game. And I think you're probably going to have to be in the right mood for this, right? It seems like a real tearjerker for sure. And that takes me to the heavy hitter. So this is a game that I genuinely didn't think I would ever own, for a couple of different reasons. Firstly, the price. This is a very expensive game. I think complete this is £180 at CEX, but it's never in stock. eBay, the last couple have sold for like basically £300, £299, those kind of prices. So a very expensive game. Also, I was under the impression that I owned this game on the Super Nintendo, which I kind of do, but we'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, I probably should have said at the start of this Kirby Sales and Exchange segment that basically everything I've picked up from Kirby Sales and Exchange cost me nothing. Now the reason being is I decided to trade in those N64 Mario Kart toys that we found. Now if you've been watching the vlogs, you may remember I found those as part of that Nintendo Loft find. Now, those Mario Kart figures are cool. There is a tinge of sadness with me getting rid of them, but I can't house everything. I can't display everything, and when it comes to toys, I have to be very fussy. I've sort of, you know, chosen those couple of World of Nintendo figures for the room to display, because those are where my heart are. So like the Mario Karts, I'd have had to make space. I probably would have ended up buying another one to complete the set, and I just don't need it, right? So I decided to trade them in. As always, got a fantastic trading price with guys at Kirby Sales and Exchange. So everything you're seeing is pretty much free, which again leads me back to as to why I've ended up buying this game, which I never thought I would buy. Also, it's missing its manual. Now they had this listed for 120, but by the time everything had been sort of like bundled together and they did me a great price, this cost me closer to £80. It's £130 without a manual at CEX. I've probably spoke about it long enough now. That is Mega Drive's Probotector. So also known as Contra Hardcore in America or on the Sega Genesis. It was released in 1994. This legendary run and gun was of course developed by Konami. I'd always, in my mind, associated the Super Nintendo game, where are we? Super Probotector, Alien Rebels, as being the same game. But in America, this is Contra 3 Alien Wars, and the Mega Drive version of Probotector on the Genesis is Contra Hardcore. So there are differences in the two games, and I'd always assumed that the Super Nintendo was the superior version, because in my opinion, most games are. It looks better, it sounds better, but it's not as cut and dry as that. I was really researching whilst I was looking into this, and yeah, it seems to be basically a matter of opinions, because Probotector on the Mega Drive removes some of the top-down levels, which personally I'm not the biggest fan of on a Contra or Probotector game. Also, there's more variety, there's a lot more weapons involved in this one. I think one of the big differences though, which hinders the Mega Drive version, is that this one's hard. It's supposed to be a lot harder. I wouldn't say that this one's an easy game, but it's certainly like fair enough, you can get through it. But yeah, just amazing to own them both now. I can now play them both side by side and make that comparison for myself. But like I said, the reason I was able to get this so cheap, I say it says 120 there, it was massively reduced by the time we bundled everything together. I'd say it's probably closer to 80. It's not in the best condition by any means, but I don't mind. I've spoken before about Mega Drive and the manual situation. I'm not going to spend, I don't know, £220 more to have a nicer condition with a manual. I'm just not going down that route, right? It's just not happening. And for a game that I never thought I would own, it was either this or nothing, to be honest. And this displays very well. It's a bit tatty. It's a bit tatty on the back. You can see there's a crease in it there. But generally speaking, I'm going to put this in a nicer box. I think for £80 to get a game like this, yeah, I don't think I can complain. I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm looking forward to displaying it. And yeah, I just love adding games like this to my collection. And that's the way I like to collect video games. You guys already know by now. I love the hustle, I love the bargain hunting, I love all that side of it. So yeah, if I pick up a game without a manual, that's a bit battered, but significantly cheaper. I mean, ultimately it was free. But that aside, yeah, just very, very happy to have it. And to have them both, yeah, could not be happier. So yeah, it was a great day all around, a very, very long day. I think now what we're going to do is sit down as a family, watch Spirited Away together. I'm looking forward to it. I've only ever seen it once. I think little man will enjoy it. As I say, it's his introduction to Studio Ghibli, and yeah, it's a school holiday, so whatever keeps him entertained, right? Unless he's naughty, and then I might make him sit through Grave of the Fireflies. I definitely would never do that. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow in a bit. Good morning! Let's take a look at another Ghetto Gang games room, shall we?
Hey gang, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my modest game room tour. I'm not really sure where to start here, so I'm just going to give you a very brief back history. So I, as I'm sure many people do, when I first started collecting game stuff, I didn't really know where to narrow my focus, so I ended up collecting a lot of stuff. That collection has slimmed down a lot over the time, where I've kind of focused in on what I really want. And I think I'm almost there in terms of, you know, what systems I want to collect for and what actual hardware I want. There are a few consoles that I just can't bring myself to get rid of, like my Mark I Mega CD. I never had one when I was growing up, but I was so jealous of those that did. I think if I had to pick up my favorite consoles, it would be these two Super Nintendo crates that I have here, the Super Game Boy and the Donkey Kong Country crate. You do see them from time to time on eBay, but they tend to be quite battered. In terms of games though, so Mega Drive is a focus for me. You may notice as I go around the room, I don't have a lot of games, but hopefully the ones that I do have excuse me, are, you know, decent games. I think they are anyway. But I've left myself, you may notice, empty spaces as we're going along and shelves that look a little bit sparse, and that's because I like to leave myself a lot of room for expansion, so I don't have to reorganize every other week. And that's certainly the case here with my 360 shelves and my PS4 shelves. That's something I'm working on right now. These two big empty shelves in the middle here are going to be for Master System and maybe some more Mega Drive. I don't want a lot of Master System games, but there are a few key titles that I'm looking for. I do dedicate this whole row to pretty much Switch stuff. I do collect the super rare games. I'm not after every single one, but I do pick up the ones that interest me, and I've got a few of the collector's editions on the shelves here. The Switch games below that are just your regular releases. You know, there's Sea of Stars, Paper Mario, you know, that kind of stuff. And then the three shelves rather, below that are my limited edition collector's editions. I love these so much, but there's such hard work to find room to display. You know, you may not know, but these two things here are two Switches. You know, but you know, I can only display them a certain way. I do enjoy collecting for Game Boy Advance. Again, I don't have a lot of titles, guys, but I do have some good ones, I think. You know, like the Boktai games, Aria of Sorrow, Demi Kids. You know, some good titles that deserve their spot. Let's put it that way. Super Nintendo is another one I collect for, but again, not a lot of games. You know, it's just those three shelves there, and the same for the N64 below. It's just, I like to think I have refined taste, but maybe you guys will disagree with me. I know that Ghetto disagrees with me when it comes to the N64 titles. One of my big focuses, I love my Nintendo handhelds, and I think it's mainly because I never had one when I was growing up. I did have a Game Gear, which I'll show you in a minute, but I never quite ended up getting a Game Boy. There were a few moments in time when I came close to getting one, but it just didn't happen. So I think I'm making up for that now. I do love my SPs, especially the kind of limited special edition ones. I'm just missing out on the Zelda one. I've not been able to find one that's a decent price and good enough condition. And my 3DSs are something that I really like as well. And then that leads me onto my Pokemon corner here. I do have nearly every Pokemon game. There's a few that I'm missing. There's a few Pokemon handhelds, and there's the Pokemon Switch there, OLED Switch there as well, of course. But you know, I'll get there. It's a work in progress for sure. So this room is pretty small. It's not very big at all. I can't even stand in the corner to show you guys. It's only about 3 by 3. But you know, I do as much as I can with the space that I have here. And that space is constantly evolving, like it is for, I'm sure, most of you guys with your game rooms. I do have one little shelf that goes along the top of my room here. That is my original Game Gear from the 90s with a handful of games. I have a Sega Nomad and a Lynx, and then again I do have a bit of a thing for my limited edition controllers, which I have dotted around the room there. So yeah guys, that is my game room. I hope you enjoyed looking at it, and see you soon. Bye.
Okay, so we've got a few more parcels to take a look at. But firstly, massive shout out to Nicky for sharing his fantastic games room with us all. Love that clean aesthetic, fantastic, nicely curated collection. Yeah, and some real bangers throughout. All killer, no filler. If you guys are enjoying watching other people's games rooms, let me know, because I'm absolutely loving it. If you want to get involved, if you want me to show off your games room, there'll be a link below to join the Ghetto Gang. It also gives you access to additional content and, of course, the Ghetto Gang Discord. So yeah, link below if you want to get involved. But let's move on, shall we? Let's look at some more bits. So I've been sent some gifts. First one was sent across to me by a company. They've reached out to me via email, and they asked me if I wanted to take a look. Now, when companies reach out to me, I'd say more often than not I say no, because they usually want to send me things that have nothing to do with what we do here at the Retro Ghetto, or they want me to start reading through scripts and telling you people this, that and the other, when it might not necessarily be an opinion of my own. So that's why I was saying no, but this company reached out and just said, do you want to take a look? And I said yeah. So they sent me this controller, and it does look very cool. I've already opened it, I've not played with it or anything, but this thing looks very cool. So this is a Gullikit KK3 Max. I hope I'm pronunciating that correctly. They said to watch the channel. I never believe these companies do. I just imagine that's like a standard opening line, right? We love your channel, insert name here. Please promote this product. But they have sent me a white one, so I don't know. Maybe they do watch. Because they definitely sent me the right controller here. Very, very clean aesthetic. And it's all very like high-end, very premium, right? Comes in this nice controller protector, and here we go. Look at that. Look how cool that is, right? Fresh white. And like I say, all I've done is had a quick look at it like I'm doing now. It's got that sort of like tactile rubber on the back for extra grip, and like I say, I've not used it, but if you turn it on or press some buttons, you should see that? See them lights? Look at that, and there's like vibrating with that as well. So like I say, very premium controller. I think these are roughly £70. I'll be showing you on screen now, and there'll of course be a link below to the website. But this thing looks fantastic. Can't give you a full review, not had a chance to play with it yet. I'm going to get playing with this, so that on next week's video I can give you guys my honest opinions on, you know, how it plays. But this is for various different systems. It's got logos here on the top. It's got Windows, Switch, iOS, and I think various other things, basically Bluetooth in it. And that's a quality review, isn't it? That's why people send me stuff, just Bluetooth in it. And yeah, comes with all these extras as well. So a bit like the, I think Xbox were the first to do it, right? With the where you can modify it and put extra things on the back and all that. It's nothing I've ever looked into, but I'll now be able to. I like the fact that it's got the additional buttons depending on wherever you want, like this Switch XYAB, or you want the Xbox version, which is like the other way around, just to confuse everybody. And these are like metal as well. So yeah, very, very premium quality product by feel. As I say, we will get into playing with this on next week's episode. but they do a whole range of other stuff. There's loads of good stuff in here. So from what I can see, it looks like a very quality product. Shout out to them for sending that across to me. Much appreciated. And of course, link will be below if you're interested in taking a look at one yourself. So, all that aside, I've got a couple of other gifts here that I've come across. So, yes, I know what this is. This has come from my friend, Ghetto gang member Steve. And he's put on here, look, for the Yorkshire tea. What a man. But what a man. Steve is a better man than me, probably for many reasons, but because he has sent me an Arsenal coaster, even though he's a Man United fan. He sent me a picture, he bought a Man United one and an Arsenal one. And yeah, much appreciated, man. Steve's an absolute legend, top guy. Thankful for that. I can never have enough coasters in here. I've got them like retro Ghetto ones that Kev printed for me. But whenever I need one, there's never one, right? And when people come to visit, you know when like people come to visit and you don't want to be that guy, but you're kind of giving them the side eye, like, please don't put your drink down on the PS2 TV. So it's always nice to have coasters to hand. So yeah, much appreciated. But like I say, better man than me, because I don't think I could have bought myself to buy a Man United one and send it to him. So yeah, thank you, Steve. And then this one is, if this is what I think it is, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got a note first of all. Hi Callum, watching your Sunday vlogs has become an essential part of my week for close to a year now, so this is my way of giving back to the channel. Thanks for the many hours of free content you've provided. Reminds me of watching Happy Console Gamer when he first started 15 years ago. Well, that's much appreciated, man. I enjoy watching Happy Console Gamer as well, so very kind of you to say. I love watching your collection and channel grow, always giving that positive energy wherever you upload. Play your games, keep it retro. Josh. Right, Josh, absolute legend, much appreciated. Now, Josh reached out to me a couple of weeks back and he sent me this, a picture of this. And I said, oh mate, I don't have it. And he was very kind to say I'm going to send it over. Absolutely love this steelbook. Now, unbeknownst to me, I got a copy of this last week. So I hope Josh won't mind. It is much appreciated helping out the channel, but I would rather pass this on in kindness with me already having a copy. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you would like to win this fantastic steelbook, and it is a fantastic steelbook, right? Absolutely love the design on this one. Simply put in the comment section, Ghetto crack. YouTube are going to think, what is going on here? They might shut my channel down. But yeah, in the comments, if you want to put in capital letters, Ghetto crack, I'll get you entered for the giveaway and we'll give this away very soon. Speaking of giveaway, Dark Void, the winner of the Dark Void rare slipcover variant will be on screen now. Congratulations to the winner. Hit me up and I'll get this sent out to you. But yeah, that's it. All good. Once again, thank you, Josh. Thank you to everybody. I think that's going to do it for this week's Ghetto vlog. We're going to be starting next week's vlog doing something I've never done before. Something I'm very excited to do. So yeah, we'll get to that. And also Wednesday, I've got something coming. I'm showing you guys something I've never showed you before, which a lot of people have been asking for. So yeah, loads coming up on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you want to support myself and the channel further, there will be a link below to join the Ghetto gang. But as always, play your games, keep it retro. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you all in a bit. Take care.
Welcome to the Retro Ghetto!
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.